A typical flip in Spokane, I call it a complete redo, is going to cost you anywhere from $40,000 to $50,000. And I can go over, we actually have a condition report form that we use that goes over all the different numbers, breaks it down from outside exterior items to interior items, and it just goes over the whole list. That's one that we recently put together. And with this form, hit me up if you want it. With this form, we can usually get within 10 to 20%. We did a duplex recently. I was hoping it would cost $17,500. I told the CFO it was going to cost us $21,000. Give myself a little margin. I hate that look, Russ. Don't look at me like that, man. We're doing our best out here, man. But we ended up getting it done for a little over 19. That's a win. Okay, we're off by $2,000. We ended up making 23 or something on that duplex deal, but that's a win. And if you can go in being confident on that number, well, then pull the trigger. Okay, but you need to know the other two numbers as well. The other one being resale value. What's the property going to be worth when it's fully rented at max value, or if it's fully rehabbed and sells for top resale value on the MLS or whatever? What is it going to be worth once it's done? And the third number is usually pretty straightforward. Property managers got this number locked in, or if you own a couple of units, you'll have a good idea, or that we can definitely help you. Rent-O-Meter is kind of like the Zillow of rent prices. I'm not a huge fan, but it'll get you in the ballparks, maybe within the 20% rule. Just confirm it with somebody. You get those three numbers right, if you can get yourself to feel confident on those numbers, you need to be pulling the trigger. And if you're not pulling the trigger, then I would challenge you, and I would say that you're probably afraid. And just know that fear really it didn't go away for me for at least 6 or 7 years. It wasn't until I bought maybe my 100th house before I stopped feeling that, like, you know, when you're about to jump off the cliff edge, and you know you're in your mind, logically, you know you're going to be fine. You checked out the numbers, the math is 30 feet. If I hit it straight, and even if I do get cockeyed, I'm probably going to be mostly fine. Depends also how old you are. I'm finding out. And how well you stretched beforehand, maybe, and how many beers you've had. That's obviously a factor. But if you can get those three numbers right, just know that even if you do decide to jump off the edge and it feels scary right when you get up there, that's normal. That fear is what prevents probably most people, from doing a lot of things in their lives, and especially committing a large sum of financial resources, time, and your word. A lot of times loans are involved, and that's your word with another person that if you're any good at this, you really take to heart. And so, but just know that you can do it. Know the three numbers and have an exit strategy. There are a few other things that I'd like to cover before you actually just take the plunge. And if interested, I would love to walk you through some of our deals. I would also like to show you how I did it, how I continue to do it, how I flipped over 200 properties, owned rental properties and wholesale properties throughout Washington and Arizona. So with that, I think I'll just end it there. That pretty much covers the math. Thanks for sticking through, and look out for my next video, where I'll be covering some more cool real estate stuff. I don't know. But yeah, and if you have something you want me to cover, just don't bother me with it. Just keep it to yourself. Nobody wants to hear that. I'm just joking. Email me and let's check it out. I'll do a video. Maybe get you on for an interview. Who knows? Love to answer some questions. Happy hunting.